Hello, hello. I'm Coda. You know me as Puddle, and I've missed you guys. It's been a while since I've made any kind of like anavlogs because I've been so busy working on original story stuff that I haven't been able to show you yet because it's not done. But so here we are. I'm active again. So I've been seeing a lot of doctors recently, and as I sit in these small sterile rooms answering their questions, I've managed to stump each and every single one of them when the topic of my headaches and visual hypersensitivity come up. It kind of goes something like, do you experience migraines? Sometimes, I think. I get headaches a lot, but it's hard to tell if it's actually a migraine. How often do you experience the headaches? On and off. Like if I'm looking into the sky or a light at all, it happens. And sometimes it's like pressure that feels kind of like it's just eye strain. I notice that they only really come on full force when I'm seeing a lot of, I have a thing called visual snow, or visual static, I guess. And that's, when that happens a lot, I get the bad headaches. Visual snow. What is that? It's kind of like static in my eyes. How long have you had that? Oh gosh, as long as I can remember, actually. My parents told me I used to talk about seeing monsters in the static when I tried to go to bed when I was a little kid. So, and you're also seeing zigzags? You can't go on this medication if you see zigzags. I don't ever recall seeing a zigzag. I don't even know what that means.
It's very important that you don't see zigzags.
Okay, well, I don't see zigzags. Okay. So basically every medical professional I've ever talked to about my visual snow has reacted this way, kind of like a stunned silence and then telling me that they've never heard of it. Day smoking actually helps with it a lot. I mean, it's still there, but it doesn't hurt with the headaches and I can kind of sort of just tune it out. I found out most people have no idea what visual snow is, or have even heard of it, and the people online who did talk about it all have sort of different versions. So I'm gonna talk about my version! Alright, so you know that feeling when someone's taking a picture of you and the flash goes off, and you're stuck with that flash in your vision for like a couple minutes? Well, my visual hypersensitivity, sometimes called photophobia, makes that happen a lot with most light sources. If I stare at a monitor and I look away, the light impression from the monitor will come with, sometimes for minutes, sometimes for like an hour, sometimes all day. Usually more light compounds on top, seeing like traffic lights or my phone screen, or even just lights on in the room reflecting off the walls. These images will compound on top of each other as previous impressions still try to fade away. If the room I'm in is dimly lit, it's way easier to see the impressions, or I guess I should say, it's way harder to ignore them. They're never still either, I should stress that. They kind of flicker and shake. This movement and layer of white noise is what gives me the headaches. Now let's talk about nighttime. I'd be lying if I didn't say the stuff at night could be kind of cool in an aesthetically pleasing way. If I'm outside, if it worked, if it didn't hurt. Okay, it's not that cool. If I'm looking around on a drive or in a parking lot, my eyes will do some kind of neat things with the lights around me. They'll trail and fade out, almost like a really janky long exposure photography shoot. But the fading is more like flickering out, and the trail is impossible to control when your eyes are darting around everywhere taking in images. So it gets chaotic and it lasts a couple minutes every time I focus on a light in the dark. So because of this, I know I could really never drive at night because it's far too distracting and would be a huge risk that I'm not willing to mess with. In my room at night, the static comes back full force just like when I was a little kid. I'll lay in the dark staring at the ceiling or the walls in front of me, and I'll see the flickers and the static from all the lights I'd seen that day that have yet to fade. Closing my eyes barely makes a difference. I've got very light blue eyes, and I've been told since I was young that the lighter your eyes are, the more easily light reflects within them. Sounds poetic, but it's more like looking at the light at the optometrist is impossible and it hurts so much I can't stop crying kind of thing. I mean, staring at any part of the sky during peak daylight hurts for more than 2 seconds, and then that's in my vision all day. And that's not even including the sun being in view. But I do feel like it's been pretty consistent my whole life. That is to say, I don't think it's gotten worse since I was a kid. I just understand it a bit better now. Well, that's all I really got to say. Thanks for hanging out and listening to me talk about my broken eyes. I'll see y'all next time and I'll blab about something else.